All right, we're going to call this meeting to order. St. George City Council regular meeting agenda, August 12th, 2025 at 5 p.m. at St. George City Hall, 14100 Airline Highway, St. George, Louisiana. As always, we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Councilman Merle.
Here.
Councilman Talbot.
Here.
Councilman Monticello.
Here.
Councilwoman Cook.
Here.
Councilman Himmel.
Here.
Councilman Edmonds. Councilman DeLucci. We have a full house. Approval of the minutes of the July 22nd, 2025 council meeting. All council members have received these and should have reviewed them. Motion to approve by Councilman Merle, second by Himmel. Any opposition? Hearing none, minutes are approved. Our monthly activity report.
Afternoon, Mayor, Council.
Got? All right, introduction of ordinances for public hearing to be heard on August 26, 2025. Number one, ordinance to prohibit publicly displaying material defined as obscene or appealing to the prurient, that's a legal word there, Drew, interest and to provide for related matters. Number two, ordinance to regulate the sale, use, and possession of pyrotechnics and to provide for related matters. Zoning Commission items for public hearing to be heard on August 26, 2025. Zoning matter T25-07, ordinance to amend Title 7 of the St. George Unified Development Code as enacted by ordinance number 2025-005 to readopt the Drusilla Jefferson Design Overlay District standards and to provide for related matters. Zoning Commission vote, motion to recommend approval by Marion, second by McAllister, yeas, Aguilar, McAllister, McKee, Marion, Thornton, nays, 0. Motion passed. T25-07 was recommended for approval. Number two, Zoning Commission case number Z25-09, ordinance to rezone a 2.53 acre parcel located at 15961 Airline Highway from R Rural to CW1 Commercial Warehousing 1 and to provide for related matters. Applicants are Brian Aguilar, BM Aguilar and Associates on behalf of MMR Constructors. Related case, approval of Zoning Commission case number SP 25-03 for the construction of a new two-story office building is contingent upon the approval of case number Z25-09. Zoning Commission vote, motion to recommend approval by Marion, second by McAllister, yeas, McAllister, McKee, Marion, Thornton, nay 0. Motion passed, and Z25-09 was recommended for approval. All right, Zoning Commission items for public hearing and action tonight. Item number 1, Zoning Commission case number Z25-07, ordinance to rezone a 4.54 acre parcel located near Highland Road between Perkins Road and the Kansas City Railroad tracks from C2 heavy commercial to M1 light industrial, and to provide for related matters. Applicant Haynes interest. Zoning Commission vote, motion to recommend by Thornton, second by McAllister, yeas, Aguilar, McAllister, Thornton, nays, Marion. Motion passed. Z25-07 was recommended for approval. Is anyone from the public here to speak on item number 1? All right, I'm seeing none. Council?
I'd like to make a motion to deny the zoning change to M1 for several reasons. One, the city of St. George has yet to create a comprehensive land use plan that determines the overall character and zoning of our city. It is my intent not to have M1 zoning at all in the city of St. George. It's not the characteristics of our city. There are plenty of wonderful places to have that, but not in St. George. So I would suggest that in the future, our comprehensive land use plan, the M1 zoning not allow this to do. Therefore, I'd like to make a motion to deny this, the future zoning change.
Any other? Okay, we got a motion and second. Any other? Okay. I'll reopen the public comment period. Come on. Just state your name and where you live.
This piece of property that you are asking for me to own, I have something here. This joins 42 acres that we already have that are in one. So we are just trying to get this to go with the other 42 acres that we own that is already. And you can see how it's funny.
In your picture, is it all of the red that says 22A, 21, or is it just the brown part, or what do we? Okay. Oh, the green spot. So over the years, this is, I mean, as long as I can remember, this has probably been M1, and the Home Depot's been there, and then this has always been, what is it, C2 right now? Yeah. So we typically when you rezone a property, I think this may be, and Sherry may could correct me, or Mr. Marks here, but when something goes to be rezoned, you normally have an intent for the rezoning. So we have all this as M1, and you want to make this M1. What would be the intent of this entire area? And currently, right now, it's just vacant.
But we are contacted.
So I think going off Councilman Murrell's suggestions on the deferral was, I think in the long-term comprehensive plan of St. George and this particular exit of Highland Road and the interstate, that, this land kind of enhance where we are with St. George, and with it being an M1 zoning. I mean, I understand that can bring in a lot of heavy commercial, can bring in concrete plants, steel mills, steel plants, yards, lay down yards. And, you know,
And there is a housing plan, again, to this property.
I didn't know that was a concrete.
It's the one that comes off Conference Road and it goes underneath the way. That's where they build the trusses and islands and everything.
Mhm.
They've been there since I was born.
And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Councilman Earl wanted to put that line in on this.
That's correct. It was a really long one, but I'm motion for it. I'll reiterate my stance. I don't believe there's a need for anyone to own the city of St. George. I think our comprehensive plan is that goes back to public comment and involvement. I think that's one of the dangerous intersections in the city of St. George. I would like to prevent having heavy traffic going in and out of that. And it would be my contention that it's not just a denial of value, but in the future, there'll be no one zoning period.
Anybody have any other questions? Thank you. While we have it back open, is anybody else from the public who would like to speak on this matter? Seeing none, we'll close the public comment period. Council, we have a motion and a second on the floor. Any discussion? Any further discussion regarding it? We'll do a roll call vote on this one. Councilman Murrow,
Yea for the denial.
Councilman Talbot, Councilman Monticello, Councilwoman Cook, Councilman Himmel, Councilman Evans, Councilman DeLucci. All right, number 2 on the list, zoning commission case number Z25-08, ordinance to rezone a 12-acre parcel from R rural and C2 heavy commercial to A2 single-family residential, and to provide for related matters. Applicants Mickey L. Robertson, MR Engineering and Surveying, on behalf of Henry McDonald, LLC. Related cases, approval of planning commission cases number S25-10-F and S25-11-P to allow a 31 lot subdivision for Majestic Oak second filing, contingent upon the approval of case number Z25-08. Zoning commission vote, motion to recommend approval by Marion, second by Thornton. Yeas were Aguilar, McAllister, Thornton, and Marion. Nays were 0. Motion passed. Z25-08 was recommended for approval. Is there anybody from the public that would like to speak on this item?
is that entire parcel that's subject to rezoning commercial?
There's a portion of it is CT heavy commercial, and a portion of it is green. It's kind of a diagonal, it's not a square, it's kind of like a diagonal cut the way that rezonings, property rezoned right now.
So the plat was approved preliminary. So take us through the process of that, and what do you go? You get to construction drawings to a final plat, or
So the preliminary plat was approved by the planning commission. In order to get that approved, there's obviously a lot of things that have to be turned into the city, and then the city makes a recommendation to the planning commission. Planning commission then votes the preliminary plat has already been approved. If this council approves the rezoning, then the applicant will come back with full-blown construction plans and comes to the city of St. George. It's vetted by both the engineer that submits it, it gets certified as being correct. Then the city of St. George engineers look at those same construction plans, make sure that they're done correctly, make sure that they meet your code. If they're not done correctly, they'll have to be resubmitted to make sure they meet all the drainage requirements, traffic requirements, etc. Once those construction plans are approved, then you go build your subdivision. Once the subdivision is built, then the city of St. George then comes back out and inspects it to make sure that it's built properly in accordance with all the development codes and everything that's approved in the construction plans. And only then do you get a final plat for your subdivision. So this is really, and this is kind of step one of the document.
The only negative thing I've heard about this is the traffic on Holland Road. Is atrocious, especially in the evening time. I know you'll say you're only going to have two houses for two cars per house. I know about that, but everybody's got three cars. But I mean, that's a little bit more. I just think it's going to be a disaster on Holland Road and put about what we're going to have with traffic, and as far as the people that we talk to on Holland Road, you're saying 100% of everybody's for it. I've heard totally the opposite.
So I would not say 100% feasible. I would just say that the homeowners association will be doing subdivision with Jeff Coast, that the planning commission meeting spoke, saying that the association has to deal with the neighborhood and their support. There probably are some individual people that in the neighborhood that don't support it, the association should have to speak about it, so I think it's locally they support it. As far as the traffic, and I can certainly understand the concern there, there is, my understanding is there's plans for a new roundabout with light at Equine Highland that's supposed to help reduce some of that traffic. I'm not a traffic engineer, so whether or not that truly works, I don't know, but I know that's in process of that intersection.
There's a, the staff had asked for, in speaking about the traffic studies, the staff had asked for some traffic studies. Have they all been turned in for what they've asked for?
So my understanding is that the traffic studies were performed by the city of St. George to develop a case for the city conducts the studies themselves. I'm not positive what specifically the city has looked at and not looked at. I know we had a meeting a couple of weeks ago where we met with the city staff. They had done a traffic study, traffic impact analysis, but we sat down with them, and what they told us was that there were between 1 and 3 streets over in right of way, possibly an embankment that needs to be taken down. I think the engineer then resubmitted some information to the city, and that's maybe still being looked at. But whatever the city requires from a safety standpoint on the traffic, will be complied with.
And when you say the safety, the issue, I think the main issue that everyone is looking at is the line of sight, in which you referred to the tree removal and embankment in that area right over there, more so than the traffic. It's the safety of pulling out of that subdivision and getting on Highland Road.
I think that's correct, and I think what was explained to me is that
when the streets are taken down, whatever the city requests on that, and the embankment is taken down, it's going to improve the intersection for everybody that's currently coming out of that subdivision, hopefully making it safe. My understanding, you're welcome to, confirm with the city, my understanding is that those are the only requirements, the only concerns they have in the traffic.
Anybody else from the public would like to speak on this matter? Hold on, Stephanie. Go on.
Thank you, sir. Not really a lot of this particular, I think they're going to put some around 30 blocks, actually. They put 30 houses there. They're going to roughly about 290. Traffic. This property where it's located, you could actually come out of the also, there's no limit. I'm like, and the property put out the house. Years ago, we were not big. We were looking at about 2,600 people in and out of traffic. Vehicles. In this particular intersection, full water. That, even if we know that they're going to put a intersection, opening it up to I-10 and intersection, on up people lives. All this is going to be driven on after we're not going to track to the people who intersection. So let me know when this happens coming out of Howard Road. Howard Road is a little bit
Anybody else from the public would like to make comment on this item? Seeing none, we'll close the public comment period at this time. We're going to bring Stephanie Phillips up here. Come on, Stephanie.
So by anything that we do tonight as a council strictly with zoning, taking it from C2 possibly to A2, that has nothing to do with the analysis that you're going to continue to do to work with the engineers and the developer on what he may or may not have to do with trees and embankments and all that, correct?
Is it typical to approve a project at this point, or approve the zoning change to only open information to everyone?
So I mean, it seems to me that you continue moving the ball down the court, the field, as the developer's working through maybe his plans or potential loans or contracts and dates while you guys are doing and your thing. You guys get together, the engineers get together to see what can or cannot be done for a final approval from the engineer, the city side engineers and the developer engineer side.
What the Perkins Road ever been discussed regarding this project?
We did ask if we wanted to have an additional outlet to Perkins, but the developer confirmed that that's not
As it's,
And so with the way the track is currently laid out and kind of how it's being subdivided, the developer of what we're discussing with this zoning tonight, he wouldn't own that property facing Perkins Road, correct?
the subdivision is two parts. The first part of that lot is subdivided two,
Uh-huh.
and the intention from the developer was to purchase the portion that had Jessica and not use.
So yeah, so he wouldn't own the part to Perkins Road, so there would not be a possibility for him to connect to Perkins Road. He won't own the land, correct? Okay. And there's no intent for him to buy that property under contract today to facing Perkins Road, correct?
I don't know that, but that's what I was told. Yes.
Can that be confirmed?
Are we done with that?
Oh, well, yeah.
All right, thank you, David.
Eric? Thank you.
That's correct. So there are two parcels that are currently owned by the landowner. The applicant is only purchasing half of the property. And the way the subdivision is approved currently by the planning commission, there is no outlet to connect to Perkins Road. And that was part of the conversation that the applicant had with the rest of the neighborhood. They did not want second interest to cut through the Perkins Road.
an outlet to Peaky Lane.
This comes out of Highland.
I know,
And
talking about the backside.
I think it's next to this parcel. I think this clear piece of it, shortly, then I think it's 2 feet.
Eric, you met with Max and I, and we appreciate that. We had a great conversation. I just, as I discussed with you, I'm really concerned with the safety issue of Highland Road currently, and if we triple the size of that development right there. And the fact that it is in a spot that is already at an issue with the line of sight and not having all of the studies and analysis in our hands, it's very difficult to move forward with that. Mr. Carmouche builds great houses, and we would love to have him develop in the city of St. George. But as I mentioned to you, this is a great development in a very difficult location, and that's the issue that I have.
And I think I appreciate your opinion, and certainly, I don't think Mr. Carter wants to do anything that would put people in jeopardy. I mean, obviously, we're gonna do everything we can to comply with the line of sight and improve that intersection for the existing people. I understand it adds some force to Highland Road. I can't change that, but I do understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, come on. I got a question real quick before you make a statement. My question's super simple. The feasibility study that we're requesting, what type of turnaround could you do on that? Okay.
So we met with a couple of weeks ago. We went out there last week. And we turned in that results Wednesday or Thursday. And I discussed it with Michael Thompson on that Thursday. And what he asked me to do was, in the site distance line, where he identified his nursery has access in the site line. But he also identified some sections that needs to be removed. So he asked us to do was, not at this point, but when we're ready to continue, is to provide detailed construction plan of what we would do with that land. And their unit, what we would do, or whatever it takes to make that line of sight compliant with the ASHTO standards. Standards that govern cyclists, triangles, and sections at intersections. There's roughly a 500-foot sight triangle that has to be established. So we're going to take the situation that's not compliant now, and we're going to bring it into compliance to 5%. So what we need to go to tonight is move forward with the rezoning and rewriting the situation where we can provide the detailed construction plan on exactly what we're doing. We already decided a basis study that says, yes, there are some trees that can be removed that in the existing right of way, existing trees that current on-base situation. But we're not to say that we are going to bring it into compliance. Now we're going to do it whether it's 1 tree, 2 trees, 6 trees, whatever it takes in there to make the safe situation happen. So we have to provide the basis of what they're saying. And they can request some additional information. There's more on the line. Details.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Sure.
I'm kind of flattered by the questions that maybe some of that, I think that maybe the questions have been answered, but I can't read it with, because if we turn down the neighbors, I could have taxed it with the place. We just didn't understand how to do it. The neighborhood on both sides, there's some worry very high end residential. I can't build that. Build it. That's expensive or high expense. That's something, that type of thing, the public road won't support what we're doing as a development. And the neighbors know that. And when both sides, everybody on top of it knows that, and that's what they want. There'll be a lot of different people that could deal with things. There's no apparent reason, not you, I'm not here to hear, but we went through all the process. And at the last meeting, I mean, I think it was just about site plan. And when you look at site plan, we've already done that. We've agreed to it. I already talked to the neighbors about it. You're okay with doing whatever it takes on site. But if you turn down the property basically useless unless you use all of one track. That's what they need to go with it. And it won't be with the neighborhoods around it and people that I know want. So I'm just hoping that y'all let us play this out and comply with the demands that the study is what we agree to do. And we will do. The third is, has a lot of good ones in the deal that Pearl, for what reason, I don't know what I would have to do with this Pearl. We already know that because of traffic, and I'm free to do it since this is third. I mean, I don't know if the business goes through, but I have time for it. I'm certainly not going to raise the money to buy the property. This property is not used. So if I have to go to spend twice as much to buy more property or do something different, I wouldn't do it. I don't know. So it's too much else coming. I don't know if that's pretty much it. So city, neighbors, families, everybody. Well, it's not just the zoning, it's the type of house. As much as they like that, tell me how they love everything about it, welcome you to the house. They're equally afraid of what would happen later.
Thank you, Mr.
I've got a question. The strip of land behind Majestic Oaks is currently zoned rural. Is that correct? The little buffer.
Well, it's mostly rural, the Port Online is mostly rural and strip of it.
And commercial is on the side of Perkins Road,
So that's my.
but it's not in the back of Majestic Oaks in Casa Colina. Is that correct?
I'm gonna come in through the good coast, and I'm gonna stop at 12 acres. 12 acres with a fenced in with no access anywhere else. Now that 12 acres, I think 8 might be rural. But I could have that another time. That's instead of enough time to change the zoning down, but I'm buying.
As far as the depth of it, so you have Majestic Oaks to your right. If you're facing from Highland Road, you have Casa Colina, and it runs a little deeper than Majestic Oaks on their track. And they have a fence that's between Majestic Oaks and Casa Colina. But on the back end of Casa Colina, that would be the C2 part that we're trying to rezone down to A2. So it does kind of give the Casa Colina folks comfort of it being residential rather than a C2 potential commercial site in the future. Is that okay?
I never had to try with anybody that lives except they just automatically would just go through.
So this is one of these situations where the neighbors agreed to what you were doing, liked it, enjoyed it, instead of some of the other developments you've done in the years past that you probably had to fight tooth and nail because they didn't want it. Okay.
So you've got a great name, you got a great reputation, okay? I will commend you on that. What I don't like, I want to be rural, okay? That's one house per acre. Where I'm living at on Hooshtoo, we got screwed big time by Baton Rouge, going from rural to putting 6.7 houses per acre. I don't want that happening anywhere else. I mean, I'm just giving you my point of view, the way I'm thinking. And if we start changing, okay, well, you know, this is rural, but people over here want to do this, we're just going to get the reputation of being Baton Rouge again. And I don't want to, personally, I don't want to be Baton Rouge again. I'm just letting you know. I'll be with you in just a minute. But what I'm saying is, we have to make a statement. We have to, this is my opinion. You got other people up here. That where if we start letting people come in here and change things the way people voted to have things, two different things. But like I say, you do build beautiful. We got subdivision going across the street from my house right now. $2.5 million houses. And then we're going to build these Walmart fall aparts down the street. Okay, that's where I get aggravated at. I know you don't build Walmart fall apart, but I'm just saying, if we're rural, we have to stay with rural. And that's just my opinion on what it's worth.
Well, I mean, the next point is that the zoning that I'm having, I'm not building a form of procedure. So I could put in the zoning, I think, but I didn't even look into it, but it's a much lesser size. My size average is 12,000, take all the lots, average size is 12,400 square feet. And the bigger, some smaller, but they're not an A2. A2 is all zoning for that, but remember, it's just the front neighborhood was zoned A2. And so they had set certain side yards that we wanted to abide by the same way that they have. But other than that, we're not building we're not building a plan is more of a one.
So the current neighborhood now, Majestic Oaks, is zoned A2.
That's my understanding is that their side yards
Mickey's walking up.
Real, very distinct clarification based on what we said. The property that's 8 acres that's currently zoned as rural, it is not zoned for one operation. It is zoned rural for some other designation on the CPR plan, so it is zoned for 7 operations. But it's currently zoned for 50 by 120 lots. So we are downzoning it to a more restrictive zoning classification. So it's currently zoned for more than twice the number of lots that we're proposing on the entire 12 acres. Just the 8 acre piece is zoned for 56 lots. So by taking 8 plus a 4 and further restricting it down to A2, we're restricting ourselves only to 31 lots. I'll make sure that's clear to understand. We're not taking a 1 lot per acre piece of property and turning it into the form that will allow each zone. It's currently already zoned for 7 lots.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Walt.
Thank you, Mr. Richard.
Appreciate it.
Joe, long time.
2 years ago, they changed the rural density percentage one. So I think rural zoning is now just a hair for homes per acre. We need that. Now that we're the city of Baton Rouge, I'm sorry, Baton Rouge. I'm not sure what we're doing as a city. They are allowed, my last recollection, my research, 4.15 acres.
So it's still under the requirement.
Property where they're at. The homes in Majestic Oaks have a minimum of 1 acre lot in their restriction. So I don't know what's in the house in Majestic Oaks
This road, originally, everybody understood it, that comes from Turkey. Not having it before the subdivision, just because except in past that. Anyway, why, I think we have some type of road coming in, okay, and the acres there. The other point is, why can't we wish to claim that you choose to go with the larger size of the lot to accommodate less density in that 57 build it out to be literally like
I don't want to pursue the issue any further, but I just want to make sure that when I fully read the entire code, it's just that the rural zoning is a future designation of ag rural, yes, one operation. And the rural zone is a future, any other future designation, it's settlement. I want to make sure that we know the things just in the second section of the code, and make sure I understand that what I said earlier still holds true, it's still on the settlement operation. It is on based on the fact that it's rural with some other definition besides ag rural.
And Mark, do you have any clarity on that particular item?
I was looking for something. The answer is that, no, I don't. I mean, I know what the code said. I know I think it's 4.2. It came out for real bad. It's 4.2. But I'm looking to see if I can figure out the definition. One problem would be I just have to. That would be there. We have that information.
So if you're saying 4.2, 7.1, whatever, and we're talking about 8 acres. So if it is 4 per acre, that'd be 32 lots on just that 8 acre spot, as opposed to 56 if it was 7. But then you add the other 4 acres that he's combining, a total of 12 acres to do 31 lots. So he's still under the requirement of whatever we're going back and forth of his 7-1, 7-2, 10-2, whatever, we're still under.
All right, thank you, Mark.
Billy?
Really, I go with 160 operating a lot of jet and hot. I just want to remind them, we just put the 13 bottom, but 3 lots, right? It's no problem.
Thank you, Doug. Anybody else from the public who would like to comment on this? Seeing none, we'll close the public comment at this time. Council?
I make a motion to defer.
I'll make a motion to pass.
Well, that's not the way that works. So,
I knew you were coming
Nate
out
beat
with
you to it, so the motion to defer, is there a second for the motion to defer?
No,
second.
Second for the motion to defer for a period of, call it 2 weeks. Now, Richie, you can make a substitute motion if you like.
Okay, I'll make a substitute motion that we vote. Mr. Carmouche kind of made it clear when he was speaking that he's got a contract and he's dealing with a buyer. He's dealing with bank and lending. They're moving forward with the engineers, with traffic studies, with sightline studies or whatnot, complying with everything that the city so far in meetings with DDG and everyone else. For us to defer it for 30 days, it's still going to be, it either stops, if we defer it, it stops potentially things that the engineer, Mickey and Richard can do with their lending and moving forward with some of their sightline work. If we can move to pass it, whether it passes or fails, then they can continue to work with the city in all the reasonable things they need to do to either get this subdivision rolling or it's denied if we don't vote it, and then we can move on. So I just don't see any reason why to defer it when we're going to be back here in 30 days doing the same thing. So I say we keep the ball rolling with Mickey and his group, Richard and his group, with our city doing the things that they need to do to comply with the subdivision.
We got a motion and a second on the substitute motion. So let me check my Robert's Rules of Orders real quick. We'll vote on substitute motion first before we go to the original motion. So we got a motion and second on the substitute motion, which is to approve. We'll do a roll call vote. Councilman Merle?
Yes.
Councilman Talbot?
Yes.
Councilman Monticello?
Yes.
Councilwoman Cook? This is to proceed. Councilman Himmel? Councilman Evans?
Yay.
Councilman DeLucci?
No.
All right, substitute motion passes. No need to go back to the first one. By the way, I'd like to point out first for the city of St. George, that was our first substitute motion that we've ever successfully pulled off. So, you know. Let me tell you something, and I know this is a public meeting, but I've been at some other public meetings where substitute motions, it gets a little hairy. Anyway, I won't belabor on it. All right, item number 3 under zoning matter number 225-05, ordinance to extend moratorium on new billboards and to provide for related matters. Zoning commission vote, motion to recommend approval by Thornton, second by Marion, yeas, Billy Aguilar, McAllister, Marion, Thornton, nays, 0. Motion passed and 225-05 was recommended for approval. Is anybody here from the public that would like to speak about billboards? Seeing none, we'll close the public comment period at this time. Councilman Edmonds, that's your item, so I know you brought it up the first time as well.
This is something that when we were newly appointed, that knowing that we're going to be going through St. George comprehensive plan on how we want to zone property or how we want things to lay out, one of the things, and really kind of came up with the Piku intersection opening up. And if you think about the Piku intersection going from the interstate to Airline Highway, a lot of people say that may look like Segan Lane in the future. And if you notice Segan Lane, there's a lot of billboards that are around. So one of the things that we wanted to do was put a moratorium on it to study that as we do our comprehensive plan. Well, we hadn't gotten to the comprehensive plan and we need an extension per se. And so I'm asking that we extend it for another year as we get our plan rolling. And we have a moratorium on the billboards, the large billboards that are around St. George. Motion to approve.
It's a moratorium on any new billboards.
Yeah, moratorium on any new
So we do our
billboards.
comprehensive plan.
Correct. For 1 year.
That's correct. So motion by Edmonds, second by Monticello. We already did. We opened it up. Any opposition to that? Hearing none, item is approved. Zoning matter number 225-06, ordinance to amend Title 7 of St. George Code of Ordinances, the Unified Development Code, to clarify public sidewalk servitudes and to provide for related matters. Zoning commission vote, motion to recommend approval by Marion, second by Thornton, yeas, Aguilar, McAllister, Marion, Thornton, nays, 0. Motion passed and T25-06 was recommended for approval. Is there anyone from the public that would like to speak on that item?
Yeah.
Hearing none, we'll close the public comment period at this time. Council?
Mayor, I think it's important that this ordinance passed for the simple reason it provides an aesthetic to the city of St. George that we're trying to establish. It's not going to force a sidewalk on the existing home, but the creation of new developments is something we think provides for safety, appearance, and the overall feel and effect of the city of St. George. So I would recommend you approve.
Motion to approve by Merle,
Second.
second by Edmonds. Any opposition to that item? Hearing none, that item is approved. Additional items for public hearing and action tonight. Number one is authorize the mayor to approve a leasing agreement with Enterprise Leasing Company. This is a leasing company that we're going through in order to lease some vehicles for the city of St. George. So is anybody from the public would like to speak on that item? Seeing none, we'll close the public comment period at this time for that. Council?
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Merle, second by Talbot. Any opposition to that? Hearing none, item is approved. Number two, resolution to adopt an investment policy. I'm gonna bring Brandon up here, and he'll explain to everybody what this investment policy does.
Thank you, Mayor. Council, before you, we have an investment policy that establishes a proven framework for managing public funds in compliance with Louisiana law, prioritizing safety of principal, liquidity, and fair return. In that order, our primary focus is on safety of principal, then liquidity, then fair return. The particular law that governs this is Revised Statute 33-2955. So everything in this policy applies with that. There's regular reporting, minimum quarterly, and of course, we'll report to you on a more frequent basis. But there's certain guidelines in there that states what factors that we'll report on. And if y'all ever have any questions on anything, be happy to provide the information. Any questions?
So just so everybody's aware, so what this policy does is it not only starts a policy, but also authorizes the mayor, correct, in order to work with an investment company that specifically deals with the investment of governmental funds. So just so the council understands and knows that what type of investments these are, we're not going to Vegas, right?
Right.
Pretty conservative stuff.
No crypto or penny stocks or anything like that. That's all governed by state law. So there's very strict rules on all of that, and that's what this investment policy states.
All right, thank you, Brandon. Does anybody have any questions for Brandon? I'm sorry.
Thank you, Brandon.
All right, thank you, Brandon. No golf courses. Does anybody from the public like to make a comment on this item? Seeing none, we'll close the public comment period on this item. Council? Motion to approve by Himmel, second by Merle. Any opposition to this item? Hearing none, item is approved. Last item is approve a traffic management policy for speed bumps. Scott, you gonna take that one?
So periodically, we get requests from citizens that, think that speed bumps might be the answer to eliminating speed through neighborhoods. And so, like a lot of municipalities, we're instituting a policy that the homeowners, 75% of the homeowners, and these would be the property owners, not just the residents. Property owners would sign a petition to agree in that they think that this is a good solution for their community. And if they do that, these are the people along the road where the speed bumps will be located. The next step in the process is, for it to go
their neighbors. There are municipalities and parishes that prohibit speed bumps altogether. And there's good reason for it. They're not a great solution to a lot of problems. So we thought it was imperative for the city of St. George to at least have a procedure for the handful of instances where it could apply. We have a process to put in place for them. There's still a lot of checks and balances in that process. We thought the review by our emergency services personnel and public works was imperative because they're the ones who are going to suffer the most. People they're responding to who suffer if an ambulance or a fire truck has difficulty getting to them. And so we want to make sure that if they followed all this procedure and they got through this entire thing, maybe we should put these speed bumps in. I agree that they're not a wonderful solution at all. They're noisy, they're loud, and they tear apart. They will damage some vehicles maybe somewhere along the way. But in the places where we're putting these and going to make it through this process, it is better to have a speed bump than an alternative. I don't think it's a solution for probably any neighborhoods at all. We're talking one or two neighborhoods.
Does anyone from the public would like to comment on this?
Well, or speed cushion. There's actually more categories. Speed table. And so But I would say to caveat that it's not just 75%. That's one check. The second check is the people that are going to have that bump in front of their house that can listen to that sound every night have to approve that as well.
Anybody else from the public would like to make comment on this item? Seeing none, we'll close the public comment period. Council? Motion to approve by Monticello. Second by Edmonds. Any opposition? Hearing none, item is approved. All right, announcements. Next city council meeting will be Tuesday, August 26, 2025, 5 p.m., same place. Our next Board of Adjustment meeting will be Monday, September 8th, 2025 at 5 p.m. here as well. And our Planning Commission and Zoning Commission meetings will happen at 6 o'clock on September 8th, 2025 at 6 p.m. I did want to make two quick comments. One, I know that a lot of our residents are concerned about the bridge outage on Tiger Bend. I will have a date for them tomorrow. Hopefully, when that work will begin and when that work is anticipated to end. So we'll have some answers for you tomorrow. We're diligently working through it. We know it's an inconvenience, but I can tell you it would have been more of an inconvenience if the bridge would have collapsed. It was a safety decision. It was a safety call. I know folks are they think it happened because school started and they just want to inconvenience their lives. I can assure you that wasn't the approach that DOTD took on this one. It's a major safety issue that needs to be rectified. You want to say something about this, Stephanie? So hopefully tomorrow we'll be putting out a release with some more specific data on that and some specific dates that hopefully that work can be accomplished in that time period. So the only other thing I want to mention too is that starting on Monday we started doing some work on Segan Lane. You know, for a long period of time, we all understand that we've had some issues on Segan Lane with panhandlers, with some of our homeless population. We also know that it's a very complex issue. You're dealing with chemical dependency. You're dealing with psychiatric issues. You're also dealing with a certain level of criminal element there. So starting yesterday morning at 6:30, we have started a new extra duty detail with our partners with the Sheriff's Office. They operate in the morning and they operate in the afternoon. We've also partnered up with a recovery center. We've also partnered up with our one of our favorites, Jennifer Richardson from Keep Tiger Town Beautiful. So yesterday morning we had street sweepers go through, clean it up. We cut the grass. As of today, so 2 days into it, I believe we've had 2 or 3 folks already that have accepted treatment. We have one gentleman that was removed and brought to a psychiatric facility for evaluation. I also found out that that same gentleman was on a missing persons list. So hopefully he can be reconnected with his family. On the criminal side, they've also made some arrests. One particular one today was somebody with an outstanding felony warrant. I encourage you to drive down Segan Lane and go look at Segan and the interstate. It looks a little different today than it did 3 days ago. I'm not telling you that it's over. This will be a long, drawn-out process for us to get it to where it wants to be, but we're moving in that direction. I've said this many, many times. I'll say it again. Always felt like we were part of the problem, that we were enabling this as community folks, and we can't do that any longer. So this administration, this city staff has committed totally and completely to getting the folks help that need help and cleaning up our city streets. So. Huh? Want people to understand and be very clear about this. The very first thing that we do for all these folks is that we offer them help. Okay, this isn't about just eradicating a problem. This to us is about saving people's lives. And as far as I'm concerned, between yesterday and today, we've saved at least 3 people's lives. We've got them going in a different direction, and that's the whole motive here. Is that we really want these folks to get the assistance and the resources that are out there and available to them. And that's really it. So
I would ask you, if you haven't gone to Segan Lane or avoided it for a while because of these issues, to take a time to shop, go hang out, shop, eat dinner, visit the street, tell us if there's something different that you're not seeing. Because as of today, the grass is mowed, the sides of the road are empty. It's looking pretty good on Segan Lane. So go check it out and spend some money in St. Louis. In District 5.
do I have a motion to adjourn? Motion to adjourn by Himmel, second by Merle. Anybody opposed? Nobody ever is. See y'all in 2 weeks. Thank y'all.